Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 668. Before getting into this reading, chances are most of the people watching this video are not subscribed, so if you are a reoccurring viewer, you enjoy my work and would like to help support the growth of my channel, you can do so by sticking around, hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it so you don't miss an upload. I just felt something here about if you feel called to ring that notification bell. That's weird. I never got that before. But yeah, I'm going to start this reading off by interpreting the number 668 like usual. If you've been watching the readings lately, or since I started on 600 in terms of like the readings, 600 and something, you should know by this point that the number 6 represents unconditional love for me and unhealthy attachments. So that energy is here it's definitely here stronger than the 8, which is the energy of letting go. So it's like unconditional love and addressing unhealthy attachments is being emphasized more than letting go. That might have something to do with how you're understanding things, I'm not sure. But generally speaking, with the number as a whole, I do feel here that you are being encouraged to let go of the unhealthy attachments and the judgments that you have towards yourself and others, recognizing your own humanity and that of those around you. Never forget that most of us, want the best for ourselves and those around us. Most of us want to be living in peace and harmony and that kind of thing. At least I believe. I don't have any statistics to show you that. But I just think even just like the way that the world is built on structure, it's like those in power might make it look like most of us, aren't on the same page. But deep down, I do believe we all are on the same page. We just have a different way of understanding or interpreting the text on that page. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of us want the same thing at the end of the day. We just have a different way of going about it. So don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on those around you. Let go of your frustrations. This could also make it easier to have more productive, persuasive, constructive conversations when it comes to standing up for and communicating about what you believe is right or what we should be doing collectively. And I think it's interesting that there is collective talk here, because other than letting go, the number 8 can also represent, how interconnected we all are, like on a micro level and a macro level. It's all about understanding energy and vibrations and how these energies affect each other. That 8 is just like a reminder to take, I don't know what that noise was, your energy, how you show up in the world, how you express yourself seriously, because it does have an impact. It does affect others. So you get to decide how your energy impacts and affects other people. So be mindful of how you're communicating, how you're showing up in the world. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 8 is 20. 2 plus 0 is 2. And 2 is about balance. And it further confirms here that there is something here that needs to be released to bring balance from within yourself and your external world and your own life to ultimately contribute to the collective balance. A message that I love talking about that comes through often is remembering, or not remembering. It's like an analogy where each person on the planet is a puzzle piece. And to see the full picture, the full puzzle, to put it all together, we all have to be present. We all have to be there. And what the heck is that noise? And I almost want to say like be, you know, put in our place, but like not in like a negative kind of way, just being where we fit in life, where we deserve to be in life. I'm not sure what that noise is, honestly. Oh, okay, so it might have something to do with the thing that my phone is resting on to record. Just give me 1 second. Okay, I have no idea how that happened. I guess there's something wrong with my tripod now. The stand that I'm using to hold my camera. But I was talking about the number 2 and how you are being encouraged to find balance, to release energies, people, places, things from within and outside of yourself that don't support unconditional love. You know, it might keep you feeling stuck or trapped in some sort of negativity or hatred, frustration, whatever it may be. So now I'm going to move on to drawing out a card from the Ancestor Spirit Oracle to see what your ancestors would like to say about unconditional love, healing unhealthy attachments, letting go, and finding balance. So I have, well, this card has already come out before. Honor the deities around you, prayers, offerings, and help. You may have already seen this card, so could it be extra confirmation that this reading is meant for you? But it doesn't have to be. So this card generally gives me the feeling that your ancestors are reminding you that they are present, they are near, they want to help you with finding balance and letting go and loving yourself unconditionally in the way that you deserve and spreading that love and that light into the world. And I think your ancestors want you to know that they are not the only ancestors working on this goal. Many of us, many of us feel called to heal and release unhealthy patterns that our ancestors might have had or have been trying to overcome since they were alive. Yeah, these are, if you couldn't tell already, this is definitely about ancestors that have already passed on, and you don't have to have known them. When I also saw this card, I instantly thought of mythology, and I just felt something here about Greek mythology, Norse mythology as well. Zeus feels like a significant god. I'm pretty sure he's a Greek god. I'm not 100% sure, but like mythology in general, like I'm feeling Greek, Norse, and Roman. If you feel called or curious about mythology, this is confirmation of that. And it's like an extra mysterious, mystical, eerie type of feeling given the Egyptian imagery going on here. So maybe you feel called to Egypt as well. I feel like there are some ancient belief systems that you might be curious about, and you are being encouraged to explore those belief systems, to follow the curiosity. If you do already communicate with your spirit guides, the universe, whatever higher power you believe in. Keep doing that, and if you don't, and you feel you are being encouraged to look into doing that, learning how to pray or to communicate with intention or whatever. If you already know how to pray, you already know how to communicate with the universe. It's just about intention, I want to say. And of course, if you have left any offerings for your ancestors, they are acknowledging that. And they also, like I said in the beginning with help here, just reminding you to remember that you don't have to do this alone spiritually. You can always communicate with the universe, your spirit guides, your spirit team, because they are there to help you, to support you, to bring more light into your life and ultimately into the collective. They're here to support you. I'm going to open up this Ancestor Spirit Oracle guidebook and read for this Honor the Deities Around You card. Okay. Honor the deities around you, prayers, offering, and help. The ancient Egyptians worshipped a pantheon of deities, all of whom had specific roles to play. Over 2,000 gods and goddesses were thought to be at work influencing everything from the people, the weather, seasons, crops, and to natural disasters. There were deities to protect the living and others to safeguard the dead in the afterlife. People sought the favor of the gods and goddesses by recognizing, honoring, and worshiping them through ritual, prayer, and offerings. Pleasing the deities meant they would continue to keep the world in divine order and the people safe. It's interesting because the word pleasing here is really, really sticking out to me. It's making me think of something that I was talking to someone else about recently with people pleasing. These spiritual beings are not asking for you to be, what's the word? An obedient servant that doesn't ask questions. That's not what they're doing. They're not here to overpower you or to show how great they are or anything like that. They want to use their power for good to support you, not for evil, to try to tear you down or to make you feel small and powerless. So don't be afraid to question the guidance, or just to ask questions to your spirit guides, because they do want you to understand them and their intentions. You could be afraid of these spiritual beings, and that's fine. It's life, from a completely different reality or dimension or whatever. It makes sense. But they are coming through wanting you to remember that you don't have to be afraid of us. We're not going to punish you for being ignorant or for making a mistake. I feel like they want you to know that they're more reasonable than you might fear. It says they were called upon for personal reasons and community goals and were seen as spiritual helpers who lived among the people. Many of these deities are still worshipped by modern-day Egyptians and people from different cultures around the world. The Ancestors Speak section says, it is okay to ask for help from the spiritual world. This card has appeared for you because an angel, guide, or other spirit helper is assisting you with a question or problem. Ground, physically protect and shield your energy, then meditate. Listen, look, feel, and pay attention to what they are trying to show or say to you. You may feel drawn to learning about or working with a specific god or goddess. The divinatory meaning says develop your knowledge and relationship with a deity you feel connected to. It doesn't have to be an Egyptian god or goddess. It could be a deity from a completely different culture. So like, Norse, Roman, Greek mythology. It doesn't have to be related to any of those either. You may be surprised at who you feel drawn to. You may like to learn how to prepare a ritual or an offering to honor a specific deity. If you already use ritual or prayer to connect with a deity, this is a sign that they want you to work with them more closely. So if you did, leave offerings They do want to work with you more closely. Make time to reconnect with your chosen God, goddess, or spirit helper today. And the way they worded that, it sounds kind of like an advertisement, almost like your spirit guides or a specific god or deity or whatever is trying to sell you something. They might be trying to convince you or persuade you to connect more spiritually. But also know that they want you to do it in your own time. Because they don't want you to confuse your fears with your intuition and then be trapped or feel trapped in a cycle of perpetual anxiety. No, they are here to help you feel grounded and empowered, and I mean, I feel like powerful is the best word that I can say, but like not in a I want to rule the world and make everybody suffer kind of way. You know. I am going to start wrapping up this reading by drawing out a card from these box of cards. Well, this box of cards. These are cards that I made myself, if you didn't already know. Oh my goodness. This is some pretty direct energy, so I hope it doesn't make you feel a little bit creeped out. But this card has song lyrics from the song Wolf by Highly Suspect. I said in a reading recently that a wolf might be a significant spiritual animal for someone, and that message is coming through again to further reinforce that message from before. But if you didn't see that message before, and the wolf as a spirit animal resonates, you know, you can still take it. But these lyrics say, "You see me and I see you." And it's funny because, like, realizing there's a 10 down here, I did see when I looked at the clock, I saw the number 10 with like a bunch of zeros around it. The number 10 for me is a reminder from your spirit guides that they are near, and they are definitely present. It's very clear that they want to make that known to you, but not to creep you out, but to help you feel safer and, you know, more connected spiritually, less alone. They're, like I've been saying, they're here to support you, not, you know, destroy you. Let's just put it that way. That sounds like kind of an intense way to say it, but you know what I'm saying. When you in numerology, 1 + 0 is 1, and that, for me, that number is a sign to trust yourself. So feels like most of the people watching this is already aware with the communication the spirit realm is having with them, and there's just confirmation to trust yourself on that. But if you're not aware that they are trying to communicate with you, you're still being called to trust yourself in terms of the pace that you are taking, you know, towards communicating with them. Trust yourself in terms of the pace that you are going. And I just saw 122, which is a sign to remember that change starts with you. And I just saw 1, 2, 3 on the timer as well. I don't know if I said 122 on the timer. I'm trying to be like very clear about that because, you know, like when you say I see, it could also be taken as clairvoyance. But no, it's like actual numbers that I'm seeing on the clock. But 1, 2, 3 is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason, you know, along with that, you know, remembering that change starts with you. There's something very deep about that. Trusting that everything happens for a reason and knowing that change starts with you. It's like you don't have to know exactly how far, how big your changes will be, how much of an impact they will have to know that they will have an impact. This "you see me and I see you" really makes me think that most of the people watching this, like definitely most, like 95% if not more, know that there are spiritual beings trying to connect with them. I just felt something here about aliens. You might, the drones that we've been seeing around the world might be significant for someone. There could also be a significant music festival for someone. I know that there was one in Italy recently, just because, like, you know, studying Italian, I've been practicing with Italians and they tell me about it. But it doesn't have to be an Italian music festival. It can be, the one that I was thinking of was American. Well, it doesn't quite exist yet, but it would be American if it did. But you might feel drawn to music in general. It doesn't have to be in the form of a festival where you're surrounded by a bunch of people and stuff like that. So if you do resonate with that, pay attention to the songs that you feel called to, that you really connect with, that just really speak to you and feel like messages or communication, like divine messages and communication. Like, something feels a little weird about this song, not in a bad way, but I feel like something is trying to say something to me. Actually, you could feel drawn to this song here, to listen to it, Wolf by the band, Highly Suspect. And I'm hearing the song lyric, I gave you my heart, I gave you my soul, but baby, I was born to rock and now I gotta roll. Yeah, that was actually the card that I talked about earlier with the wolf spirit. Maybe there's something here significant about rock and roll music, because I know that Italian music has been heavily affected by rock music, but there's definitely something here where you feel like you invested so much, and there's like a feeling of sorrow here, but you know you have to walk away and, you know, let go and create more balance for yourself, not only emotionally on the inside, but in your physical reality. It's a very bittersweet type of feeling, like you don't want to hurt somebody, but you don't want to keep hurting, you know? So just know that, I mean, whether it's a person or whatever you're being called to let go, whatever loss you're being called to embrace, no, you don't have to do that alone. I feel like this you see me and I see you. Your spirit guides see the pain, the suffering that you feel, and that's why they're present. They want to help you work through that. I just got a notification on my phone about setting up my iPhone and Face ID. Not now. I feel like that could be a sign in of itself. Maybe there's something significant here about your face, or the expressions that you make, or there could be like a ghost face that I just got a vision of that you might see. But you know, if you haven't seen it, it's something that you've already seen. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's not a message for you. I feel like generally you don't need to be afraid of the spirit world. I mean, of course, you know, don't be naive. You got to protect yourself from certain energies, but I feel like you're more protected and more safe than you might think. You know, like, you're not protecting yourself from the spirit world on your own. There are spirit guides, deities, guides, whatever you believe in the spirit realm, that are working in your favor, really, really trying to support you and ultimately the collective. Just know that the efforts that you're taking, that you're doing, definitely don't go unnoticed. I mean, the spirit energetic realm can definitely sense it, maybe feel it, and there could even be people in this physical reality that sense and feel the changes that you're making that are impacting those around you. I'm getting this very I mean, it's really just making me think of like ancient Egypt, but this you see me, I see you, there's definitely something significant here about the symbolism of an eye. I mean, I know on my channel I do have that intro video with the eye or whatever, but maybe that's significant for a reason. If you feel called to stick around, that's your confirmation. But no, it doesn't have to be related to that. Like, I know, like, if you haven't heard it already, sometimes people say that the eyes are the window to the soul, and I feel like that could potentially be significant. It's almost like I'm getting this imagery where you and your spirit guide or spirit guides are looking at each other straight in the eye. There's a real connection here to the spirit realm. So whoever needed to hear that, there's your confirmation. You're not crazy. Especially if you feel like it's not coming from a place of fear. Just trust yourself. Pay attention to the signs, the messages, and, you know, depending on where you are, work your way towards spiritual communication, spiritual connection. And if you're already there, you know, pay attention to their guidance and, you know, the signs, the messages, and stuff like that, because they are really, really trying to make their presence known to you, and they really want to be heard and seen by you. And you might feel the same way, and, you know, you really might see that happening once you start to take that first step. I'm not sure, just take it however it resonates for you.